What's up, guys? So this TL has been here for a while because we were trying to figure out the whole ignition issue and why it is that the key, it would not start. It has starting issues. What ended up happening was the ECU signal is bad. The ECU was not sending the signal to the starter. It would send us the ignition wire would send the signal from the ignition to the ECU. The ECU was not sending the signal back to the starter. So yeah, like I was saying, the ignition is sending the signal to the ECU. The ECU is not sending it back out to the starter. Instead of replacing the ECU because it is super expensive, what we ended up doing was we have a push to start system I'm going to be integrating into this. Let me fix the camera. Yeah, I'm going to be integrating this push to start system, and we are going to be going with Jordan Distributors and their push to start, and I'm going to be installing it. I'm going to not, they send you a pretty much a placeholder for your whole ignition system. I'm not getting rid of it on this car. The key is going to stay there. I don't know what is, let me recenter it. Yeah, the key is going to stay in on this TL because, once again, the key is going to stay on this TL because this TL has an immobilizer, and I want unlock and lock to still work, so he just has to put the key in the keyhole and then hit the push to start button. So that way the immobilizer still works and the car doesn't think it goes into theft mode and think that it's being robbed. It's just put the key in the keyhole and then press the push to start button and away you go. So after an hour of pretty much not following their warning schematic, following my own, I got it all figured out. So I'm gonna go in the car to show you guys. Let me make sure I get the light. So the difference why the regular warning schematic wouldn't work on this car is because it's the same reason why we did the push to start. The ECU isn't sending out the signal, so they did a really good job of, let me take this out of here, supplying the jump harness right here, right? So the jump harness goes from here instead of the ignition switch, right? And this is the starter signal. The issue is I can't use this starter signal in this wiring schematic the way they have it wired, because this goes from here to the ECM and then back to the starter relay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna completely eliminate the ECU from the circuit over here, and I'm gonna go yellow wire to the starter wire, which is the black and white right there, the signal wire, and I'm just gonna go from there to there, and it works. I tested it. We have the yellow wire that goes into the brake position. So this is pretty much, so if you want to put the car in accessory mode, just don't hit the brake pedal. If you just want to go straight to turning on the car, then you hit the brake pedal, you hit the push to start, and the car will turn on. This, I tapped into the black and white wire. So this is a 4-wire brake, what do you call it, sensor, not like your older ones. It's just 2 wires, so it has 2 positives going in, fused. Obviously we don't want to tap into that, and then it has 2 outputs. One is just a brake switch output, and then the black and white wire is the position, the brake pedal position. I tapped into the brown and yellow first for the output, and it didn't do anything. Once I tapped into the black and white wire, which is this one here, for the pedal position, then that's when I was able to bypass having to do the 3 key cycles to turn it on. And then once you do that, it pretty much starts up very like your normal car. The only thing, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the antenna here so you can scan it here and it beeps, and I'm keeping the factory, hold on, let me move the camera over for you guys, the factory immobilizer right here, because the issue is this car has an anti-theft system, and I still want the doors to lock and unlock based off his key fob. So it's just one extra step he has to do. The extra step is that he has to come in, put the key in here, put it into the run position right before you turn it to start, and leave it like that, and then scan the antenna and then push to start the car. This main issue is because the only other way for me to bypass this is to relocate this ignition switch and put the key right up onto it. And if you know anything about that 0708 Acura TL key, it's literally like a Volkswagen key. It's like a thick blob. So I would have to relocate this whole ignition switch somewhere, because the immobilizer needs to get the signal in order for the car to not think it's an anti-theft mode. So yeah, but this key is just like literally a kill switch. You could take this out after you start the car and it'll still run. The only way to shut off the car is through the push to start wire. So at this point now, I'm going to clean everything up. I have Frank in the background. I'll show you guys in the next clip where we're going to put the push to start like right here on the panel that goes here, and then the antenna is going to go on the other side. I didn't want to put anything here because it's already tight fit, and this is more if one day he wants to get rid of the push to start or whatever. It's not permanent. You could get this panel piece replaced. The whole column is more of a permanent if I mess with it. So, and then I'm gonna wrap up these wires, make everything look nice, and in the next scene I will probably be showing you guys how it works. And well, no, the next scene I'm gonna show you guys exactly how let me flip it onto me. So the next scene I'm probably gonna be showing you guys what we did to put the antenna and where we put the push to start, and then probably the scene after that is just going to be how it's ran. They do say on their website it takes anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, but I know for this car it wasn't going to be just plug and play because the ECU, like I said, that portion of it is fried. So this is pretty much the finished product. As you can see, while I was buttoning up the wiring, I'm going to show you Frank got this right here. This is the antenna pretty much for it, so it's going to be right here under the VSA and the mirror light. Sorry, I'm doing this with I'm not the best with the camera, sorry Frankie. And then we have our push to start, which is going to be right here. As you can see, he drilled out the hole right there, and then yeah, so those are the two plugins right there and right there. And then I'm gonna put this down real quick. I'm gonna show you what I did. Pretty much, like I said, that wasn't part of the, I don't know why the camera keeps going to me. So now also I'm gonna show you what I did. So down here, as you can see, I snipped it here because somebody had already tapped into this. So I pretty much went from here, this is the starter signal wire, straight to the starter signal wire off the relay. I cut it right here. If you can see, that wire is cut, and then I went up and pretty much went straight. So this is my starter signal. So now I'm gonna, before I final assembly, I'm gonna plug everything back up, make sure everything works fine. That light is blinding you guys. Make sure everything works fine, and then put it back together, and this should be done. There we go. So the yellow wire here is right here. Then you have right here, this is the jump harness. I put the box is tucked away like all the way up here. Same thing with the harness and everything. And the tap in for the brake is behind here. I don't know if you can see me moving with my finger. This screen is so small. But yeah, so this right here, and then we have the two black wires going up here to the two black wires right here that are going to be tucked away later, but I just have this out of the way for now. But yeah, everything is plugged in. I'm just cleaning up wires as we go. I have to bolt back his BCM because I had taken it apart to check connections when I was diagnosing. So yeah, I'm going to bolt the BCM up, and then I'm going to bolt the BCM up and then go back with the interior pieces and start hiding everything, make wire management and all that stuff, and making it look all nice. So this is pretty much the finished product. The antenna is right behind, well, right under the VSA and the mirror switch. So that's where you would scan it. And over here, you have your push to start. Oh, the flashlight is flashlighting. You have your push to start, key fob hole for anti-theft, and the mobilizer lock and unlock still to be in use. And then down here, if I can get the camera to work with me here, work with me now, and then you look up, I want to say, where is it? So this is the harness right here, and then the wires I bundled up are right here. This is pretty much for your antenna, which right here, where I showed you guys under the VSA, that's your antenna wire, and that's also your push to start wire that plugs into the module. Then I said the module is hidden. Oh, hold on. The module is hidden down here. So pretty much is the install. Next clip I'll get of how you start the car, how you turn it off, how you put it in accessory mode. It's actually a pretty neat system. So this is the key fob right here. So first things first, put the key in the keyhole, right? You scan it, put on the brake, push the start. Obviously you saw it, and that's it. The car starts up fine. Then if you want to shut it off, you shut it off. You hit the push to start, it's down here. Hidden, I think I'm pointing, yep. And then same thing, if you want to put the car in accessory mode, same thing, just foot off the brake. So if it beeps once, then you have to do it again twice. Just push the start, boom, it's in accessory mode. So you push it the first time, it'll turn on the radio. You push it the second time with your foot off the pedal, then it'll be in accessory mode. If you want to start the car, you just put your foot on the brake and it starts up. It gives you 30 seconds, if I read it right, after you scan this to do whatever you want to do. This is just a immobilizer. So that's pretty much right there the whole basis of the GDI Jordan Distributors push to start kit. They do have upgrades too, like if you want to change this button and make it like red or metal or silver. But yeah, and then of course to shut it off, and then you take the key out, and of course we still have the immobilizer, because you see that green light that's flashing. That's what we need it for, the anti-theft deterrent system. And then of course also so his lock and unlock could work. So now he's all set up. He didn't have to spend $1,200 on an ECU, just $160 plus shipping on a push to start kit for his car.